Okay, I've been wanting to make a quick video about the chicken feed problem and how chickens had stopped laying eggs, because I have some extra information to add that I think I haven't seen anybody else cover so far. So this is most of our chickens. The rest are out wandering somewhere. We have a very big coop for them. It's over there behind a tree. You can't see it. It's like 12 by 12. It's like 8 feet tall. It's a plenty big coop for this amount of chickens. So this last fall, when everybody noticed that their chickens stopped laying, ours also stopped laying, and of course this is before anybody reported on what was going on, but we were wondering, this was our first year having chickens in this state, so we were wondering why they had stopped, because where we lived before, that they hadn't like completely stopped. These guys completely stopped. We have this many chickens and we were lucky to get like 1 egg a day, right? It was pretty crazy. So at any rate, we just put the pieces together just a couple months ago, and we realized that we had this other issue that we didn't realize was connected, which is that our hens were beating the crap out of each other. As you can see, that one right there, that brown and white one, his booty is still pretty bare, or her booty is pretty bare. But it was way worse than that. Like, we actually lost a chicken from being pecked to death, and I know that can happen because chickens can be pretty mean. But ours they got exceptionally weird and mean, like really bad. And we didn't know if it was because they were penned up in the coop, too long during the day or whatever. But it turns out that, some people keep their chickens locked up a lot. So it didn't really make sense, because they weren't just pecking at each other. They were literally killing each other, like ravenously. So it wasn't even just like one was like the one picking on others. We were watching for that. But some of them we would watch them, and we actually tagged them to see who the problem, maker was. And it wasn't just one chicken. They were all doing it. They were beating the crap out of each other, so much so that we had a chicken who we referred to as half of a chicken, because from about the front of the legs all the way to the rear, there were no feathers at all. So it looked like half of a chicken walking around. There was no tail feathers, nothing. It was just completely bare in the back, and so that was our half of a chicken, and only feathers in the front. So it's just bizarre behavior. And since we've switched food, we make our own chicken feed now. We don't buy the stuff, we were literally buying from Tractor Supply, but I doubt they were the only ones with this issue, because I've heard actually that it's a worldwide issue, obviously intentional, where they don't want us to be living off the land. And these guys are in a pretty bad mood right now, but normally they're doing pretty good. We've kind of switched their feed around a bit, so they're kind of in a bad mood about it. But they've been really sweet ever since we switched their food a couple months ago, and they're just starting to get their feathers back. But literally they were pecking each other to death. We're talking about bloody like fits, and just like literally half of a chicken would be left, because so much they were all missing their feathers. Now the most bizarre part to me is that all of the hens even ganged up on the rooster. Have you ever heard that happen before? The rooster almost died because all of the hens went after the rooster. That is like so freaking bizarre. Like, he was missing chunks of feathers and flesh like all over his body and by his head. I mean, he looked like crap. It was completely crazy. And I've never heard of that happening before, hens attacking a rooster, but the level of ravenousness was just, and ravaging each other was just insane. It was like watching raptors from like, a dinosaur movie or whatever. Yeah, Jurassic Park or whatever else. And they're mostly grown them in now, so they're finally getting all of their feathers back. That gray one right there, who's fluffy, had no tail for the longest time. They completely took all of his tail feathers out. And so anyways, we're attributing this now. It could be like a 5G kind of a thing. It really could be, because that's supposed to create aggression in humans and others. But it's also possible that it was associated with the feed, because the time frame was definitely coinciding with the food issue, and the fact that they stopped laying eggs and they started just beating the crud out of each other. So I just wanted to report on this. I don't know if anybody else has, and that's why I wanted to make this video. I'm hoping other people will comment and tell me your experiences. If you noticed your chickens being more aggressive than usual, then let me know in the comments, because I'm definitely interested in hearing other people's experiences. We are in Arizona, just for the sake of location, so you know where we're at and what we've been going through. And I don't think it was a 5G thing, just because of the fact that it's gone away. And when they're not first fed, like I just now threw food out, which is why they're kind of being cray-cray. But they just wander around the yard and they're super peaceful and kind and fine with each other now. And if it was like the 5G, then I don't think that would have gone away. So I really think it was just something about their food, man. They're lacing it with something that makes them stop lay, and it also makes them evidently super aggressive. So like abnormally so. I know chickens can be buttholes, but we're talking about weird levels where they were literally killing each other and even their rooster. So anyways, you gotta love government psyops, or whatever you want to call it. Government, it's not a psyop, I guess. It's more like government operations, you know. At this point, our government is against us. So anyways, let me know if you guys have heard of any other chicken farmers having the same experience with aggressive chickens. And God bless you guys until the next video.